Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of FERN, Flat Earth Research Network. And joining me today is my co-host Celino. Celino, welcome. How are you doing, brother?
Hi, my friend. Very well. Very well. Very pleased to be again with you here.
So nice to have you here, Celino. And today we have a special guest who, in reality, don't need a big introduction. He's quite well known. He's like kind of a specialist with the moon, with a page, the lunar cosmology. So it's great to have you here, Dave. Welcome, Dave. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks, Vicar. Thanks for having me, and I'm looking forward to the show.
You're welcome, brother. You're welcome. So there's a lot of dogmatic view in our flat earth community about many different aspects, from starting from the dad, why is the sky blue? And the dad take him to the aquarium and you see the sky blue above. So there are many different things like that. And even the people get stuck. They don't progress. The community don't progress because we get stuck to this, and the people are afraid to.
Open to new ideas because there are a lot of fresh ideas about the world that we are living right now. So our community must to grow up. What is your point of view about that, Dave?
Yeah, well, yeah, you know what I mean. Like I say, it's we don't know who we are, or where we are, or what we're doing here. You know what I mean? I think we've had a lot of stuff in the past hidden from us, yeah, and we've been programmed not to question anything. You know what I mean? But now we've got to the stage in time where we're starting to question things. You know what I mean? We're asking these questions. I mean, 10 years ago, would you be questioning the shape of the Earth? No. I mean, if you look at the growth of the flat Earth community over the last 5 years, it's been phenomenal. You know what I mean? And we're starting to ask these questions. Yeah,
we did learn these guys are changing everything and are manipulating the information. We did discover that we has been lied so many years about everything in the last decade. So it is very impressive for the people. It's difficult to talk because everybody have a different point of view about everything. So it's crazy right now. It's the Babel Tower at this moment.
yes, it is. And like I say, I'm not a scientist. Yeah. I'm a warehouse manager. Yeah. I'm not claiming to be a scientist. Yeah. All I'm doing is making observations and documenting them. Yeah. That's all I've been doing for the last 4 years.
But that is science in some way, because we are doing exactly the same. We are doing experiments. We're trying to discover several ideas about the world that we are living. And right now we did discover that they don't have a real knowledge about the universe. They just have ideas like us, exactly like us. That's a very
Speculation. The
good
science.
approach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The science is only doing speculations. They're not really giving us real data. Even they're trying to wrap their brain around it, that where we live and what we are perceiving.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it kicked off from Copernicus. Everything from Copernicus onwards is basically theory. You know what I mean? It's theory on top of theory on top of theory. They have a problem, they fix it with another theory. You know what I mean? It's
right now we have a lot of explanations are called theories and are approved, but some kind of advice consuls. So they are fixing every problem that they have with a new theory.
Exactly. From Newton to Einstein to everybody, from Galileo, everybody had a real role to play in this indoctrination. Everybody just arrived in the right time to that the globe made sense for the people in this time. So till Neil deGrasse Tyson today is doing exactly the same thing, only theoretical science.
Right now, by example, my friend Dave, we have been discovered that the real physics of the world is optics. So everybody is stuck in optics because nobody understands exactly how optics work, what we are seeing, what we are looking at. This is real. That is the real position of the moon. So this is creating a new theory about the universe that we are living, because they said this is gravity and other forces, magnetism, I don't know, a lot of stuff, and right now we are discovering that most of the thing that they said to us is normally just optics, and we have a big problem with the moon.
Yes, we do. And like I say, and like I said in an old presentation, we could observe the moon for another 1,000 years and probably be no wiser to actually understanding exactly what it is and what its purpose is for. You know what I mean? It must have a purpose. The moon
Right.
must have a purpose. It's not just a rock in outer space. We know that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it must have a purpose. And like I
Yeah,
say, we may never know. So
I don't
it's
know
a
if
great mystery.
I don't know if we have a space for opinion right now, or we start to see some video and try to discuss about these ideas, my friend.
Okay, so the
Mika,
main idea was
you
yeah,
direct
Dave was
this.
yeah, the idea was that if we could discuss about this last video of Dave, where there's a question about, is the moon really transparent, you
Okay,
know?
let's
So
present this to the guys and talk about it. Okay.
just a sec.
What are we looking at here? Someone will explain to us.
Yeah.
yeah. So basically, there's been a lot of talk about a video. What was what came out during the recent lunar occultation of Mars. And what they claim that a bright light close to the terminator edge was actually Mars being seen through a transparent moon. So what I did, I downloaded the footage myself, and I went through it with a fine tooth comb. And what I noticed pretty much straight away was that it wasn't actually Mars being seen through a transparent moon. It was just a crater being lit up on the terminator edge. Now, I've seen this 1,000 times shooting the moon on a regular basis, so I knew straight away what it was. So what I did, I searched around on YouTube, and there was only about 3 or 4 videos about with the actual lunar occultation of Mars. So I downloaded the videos, and luckily, one of the videos I downloaded, which is coming up in a minute in this mini presentation, shows you the same crater being lit, but obviously the image quality was a hell of a lot better than the one what was being presented by Mikey, which was out of focus. It was jerky, you know what I mean? It was hard to make out. Was it a star or what? But what I found is I found some more footage around about the same time from the same similar location, and it clearly showed that Mars had actually passed the actual whole disk of the moon, and you could see that in the top of the frame. But the light, what they was claiming was Mars, when I zoomed in on the actual different footage, I could see clearly that it was a crater just on the terminator line in the moon's shadow, or what you call the moon's limb. So you could just see the edge of the crater being lit up, and it just gave the impression that it was a star. Now, if you look at this, what was on screen now, you'll just see that little star, Aldebaran, appear, but it didn't appear, even though it's like a waxing, a waning gibbous moon, it didn't appear until it cleared that shadow part. Even though it's only a very narrow shadow part, that star didn't appear until it actually cleared that. And now, if the moon were transparent, you should have seen it as it cleared the actual lit part of the moon, you know what I mean? But it didn't appear until after that. So
Yeah, we did also share a couple of video. You remember, Celino, about seeing the stars through the eclipse? That we weren't very sure, but you do remember that video, Celino,
Right, right.
where
I remember, obviously.
yeah, and I think it's the same thing happening here also. So maybe it looks like, but it's not. It's not
Yeah.
stars. Yeah, go
No,
ahead.
do you know what? What I found a lot of times is when you see these dodgy images, when you've got like a lit part in the shadow part of the moon, like a point of light. What you'll find is a lot of them are over processed. They've processed the image over and over again, and what it does, if you've got a dead pixel, yeah, it will highlight that pixel. Yeah, especially if you change the exposure in the editing the image, or you change the brightness or the contrast. What it does, it'll bring out any dead pixel, or even if you've got like a lit crater, which is a little bit into the shadow part, it will actually bring that out as well. And a lot of them are claiming that these over processed images showing these either dead pixel or just a lit crater on the edge of the moon. Yeah, they're thinking these are stars. But if we could see stars through the moon, there'd be millions and millions and millions of video footage of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. All we get is dodgy images and dodgy video footage of stars through the moon. Now, like I mentioned before, I've been shooting the moon for over 4 years, and I've filmed 2 lunar occultations, and both times the star didn't appear until it had cleared the whole disk of the moon. So for me and a lot of my friends like Jenna Fredo, Ali Madge, Ron Hagberg, LP Nicky, yeah, we're all shooting the moon on a regular basis, but none of us has ever caught this phenomena. And I've caught the moon during every time of the day, during every phase, you know what I mean? And it just never happens. It just never happens.
Exactly.
And believe me, I've been looking for it.
Yeah, well, it's true that there are no really good images. There are very few. You remember we were speaking about the other one with Tom, my friend. He had some good images, but I was looking into it too. But that the thing is that it doesn't really move in difference with the background, the stars, So
Yeah,
it
they
doesn't
move
appear
quite
before
quick. Yeah,
they
they move
move.
quite
Yeah,
quick. Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, when you zoomed in a lot, it's
yeah.
surprising how fast the moon, how fast the star moves in relation to the moon. You know what I mean? It moves quite quick. So yeah, you'd see some movement, but what you see on a lot of these videos is it stays there. You know what I mean? For 1 minute 41 seconds, there should have been some movement, at least a little bit.
Exactly, and this also, and as I was revising that video of Tom from the Zetetic Truth Tube, uh, in the end, he writes in the comment that it's not really very sure that these are stars because he was looking into more, and I think he commented that too, that it's not really confirmed that these are stars.
Yes, and like I say, it's never been confirmed. All you've got is usually people who've never actually made an observation, claiming that to see these stars through the moon. And somebody tagged me on Facebook the other day and showed me a bright spot being seen through the shadow part of the moon. So I took the image and I cropped it and I zoomed in, and what I found is it was an ISS transit. You could actually see the shape of the ISS in the shadow part of the moon. So then I searched the image online, and I actually found the CBS News article. It actually took the image from mainstream news, of a ISS transit, and he was presenting that as a star through the moon when it was a news article showing an ISS transit. You know what I mean? They're just making the community look stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, but there are many people, even people who think it's a globe, or NASA lovers. There are many people with videos like this. I don't. It's the most, I think, looks like CGI. That the transit is so fast. It's so fake. Some of them.
Yeah, like I say, don't get me wrong. There is something up there. Yeah, I filmed it myself
Yeah.
on a number of occasions. But
Yes.
one thing I know
Go
for
ahead.
sure is there ain't nobody on it, because if you look at all the NASA footage, there's too many inconsistencies. Yeah, wire harnesses, augmented reality, mistakes in augmented virtual reality. Yeah, you can see that they're on the vomit comet where they start rising and going down, rising and going down. Yeah, the camera cuts. We know that they're faking it on board. Yeah, but there is definitely something up there. I'm not saying it's 250 miles up, traveling at 17,500 miles an hour. For all I know, it could be 10 miles up, traveling at 600 miles an hour. You know what I mean? We don't know, but there's definitely something up there. And it has got shape and form, so we can say that at least.
Half true, half life, like always. Half.
Yep, that's it. You only get half the truth.
Yeah.
Yep. Could be a drone, could be a small, how you say, a model, could be anything, because these people, they just put you in the face. And
Yeah, but like I say, I've brought a video out called ISS Smoke and Videos where I've identified a number of issues and a number of problems and a number of inconsistencies on the ISS, and you can clearly see that they're faking it without a shadow of doubt.
The last one, I think the one you recorded, the ISS, if you really hear closely, it sounds like an aeroplane. Does it? Did you listen to that?
I never listened to the sound of it, to tell you the truth, because all I ever hear is my breathing. So I usually turn the sound down, so I sound like Darth Vader or something.
There are a few videos also in Spanish community that they try to film the ISS, and you can clearly hear some kind of a plane, some kind of like machine motor. It's not too far.
In some quiet places, some guys are recorded the ISS and sounds like a plane. It's amazing. Maybe the sound comes from other machine, but it's very strange. It's very weird that when you see the ISS, you hear some song, but they have the recording, and yes, several recordings.
And the technology they have right now of drone technology and flying, and how advanced is the flying machines and everything. It could be anything. It could be the solar planes that flies for weeks and months. Could be satellite glow. Can be many things. How do you say, the satelloons? And there are many ways.
Yeah. Like I say, I don't think we'll ever know. You know what I mean? Because it's always kept out of arm's reach. So, but you never know. Something might come to light. You know what I mean? We get better technology, better tracking systems, better cameras. I mean, who would have thought 10 years ago that we'd have a 500 times zoom camera? You know what I mean? For under £1,000. It's you never dreamt of it, would you? So
yeah. And getting back to the moon, Dave, about the transparency of the moon, seeing the blue color through the moon. Yeah, what's up with that?
Well, I asked the question: can you see blue sky through the moon? Well, the answer is you can see blue sky through the moon. But for me, you need to understand how light works. And I'm sure you two guys who've done a lot of research on the atmosphere lately will understand, you know what I mean, how these gases react and how things, how light scatters, you know what I mean? So if you look at say, I don't know if you've seen my shots of the mountains, have you? It's in that video we've got now.
Yeah.
Well, when I was in Fuerteventura, I could see the mountains in the distance, and I looked and I thought they actually look transparent. The mountains, you know what I mean? Because of the light is scattering. Yeah, it gives the impression.
This image.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, if you look at the image of the mountains in Fuerteventura, right. They look transparent. Yeah. Now, if I went further and further away, they'd disappear. Now, what this does to me, it proves two things. It proves to me that the moon is a lot closer than they're telling us. Yeah.
We are doing measures, real measures with real geometry, and yes, we discovered these 800 kilometers.
Which is about 3,000 something miles, is it?
Yes. And goes down and goes up, and it's a very good study that I did. Okay.
Yeah. So
let's continue.
So what you'll see with the moon is, if you just go back to that last image, what we're just on then.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a daytime. That was a daytime moon.
Okay.
Yeah. if you just go back a little bit more till you actually see it blue. Yeah.
So basically, moon is not transparent.
No, it's
It's
translucent.
just a perception.
Yes. What you're not seeing is because you're only seeing the lit part of the moon in the daytime, because
Probably surrounded by some kind of fog, like the mountains. Like that is what you are seeing right now.
yeah, like I say, and what happens is because that light scatters easy, because it's shortwave light, ultraviolet light. Yeah, it gives the impression that you're seeing blue sky through the moon. But if you let the image play now, what you'll notice is if you just play about with that image in photo editing, what you'll notice is that when you switch it, like invert the image kind of thing, what you'll see is it looks like a nighttime moon. Yeah, like there. But because it was a daytime moon, what you can see is you can actually see the actual unlit part of the moon. You know what I mean? If you look carefully, you can actually see the unlit part of the moon. So for me, you just need to understand how light works. Yeah. It's okay saying yes, but when the moon's
yes, right, it's what we was talking about. All is about optics. That's the real enigma.
Exactly.
The real enigma is understand how works optics.
Yeah,
like I say, distant object.
Them mountains look transparent, but I guarantee you, if a plane flew behind them, you wouldn't see through the mountains. You know what I mean? But I'm not saying the moon is a rock in outer space. Yeah, 100% sure that the moon is not a rock in outer space.
And understand totally what you say right now.
Yeah, but you're getting the same effect. You know what I mean, from the atmosphere.
Yeah,
and that tells me that the moon's a lot closer. Yeah, and it's not 240,000 miles away in outer space. So for me, it proves two things for me. It proves the moon's not in outer space, and it's a hell of a lot closer than they're telling us.
Exactly, and also
what is the
playing,
what is the second thing that prove? Okay, the first one is close. Okay, what is the second?
Say again, sorry.
You said that this proved two things. What?
Yeah, two things. Well, first, it's not a rock in outer space, and secondly, it's a hell of a lot closer than we're being told. Basically, you know what I mean?
Why do you think it's not a rock in space right now?
Well, have you ever looked into the moon illusion?
Right.
The moon illusion. I've got 2 books on the moon illusion. Now, the moon is a phenomena that for me can't be explained. Yeah. You know what I mean? It can be so many different things at so many different times. Yeah, that's why some people think it's a light. Some people think it's a disc. Some people think it's a globe. Some people think it emits. Some people think it reflects. You know what I mean? It does so many different things at so many different times. It's like an enigma. Yeah, it's more of a supernatural object than a celestial object, if you ask me. And when you look into the moon illusion, now they've been questioning the moon illusion for over 2,000 years. Yeah, the Babylonians have tried to crack this one. Ptolemy's tried to crack this one. Even Da Vinci had a go at cracking the moon illusion, and none of them can come to a conclusion. And to this very day, the moon illusion has never been solved. They don't know why the moon appears absolutely huge on the horizon. Yeah. Now,
I have a weird opinion about that.
Yeah, so do I. But you know what I mean? It's like I say, when the moon's on the horizon, it's set against the background, and you can relate the object with the background. Yeah. When it's in open space, you've got nothing to relate it with. So there is that. You've got the Ponzo effect. You know what I mean? The illusion with the Ponzo effect, when you've got 2 parallel lines and you've got 2 horizontal lines, and one of them looks longer than the other one, if you know what I mean. I'm sure you've seen the effect. Yeah.
Right. But what about this idea? I can share with you my idea?
Of course you can, yeah. We're all open to ideas, aren't we?
Okay. Well, what I did study is, God put the moon there, In Tiahuanaco, you can find the information that years before, moon doesn't exist. So right now we are seeing something that some kind of civilized guys from other place put it there. And they change all the skies and change all the structure of the world, change the atmosphere, and moon help to grow the the vegetals and all the stuff that is doing right now. The moon is technology, in my opinion. It's some kind of technology that someone put in there, help to create the system that we are living right now. And that is the reason, because nobody understands, because probably it's not something so natural that we think we're trying to understand in a natural way, but we will never understand, because in my opinion it's not a natural
Exactly.
satellite.
It's supernatural.
It's,
And I come to the same conclusion.
yes, it's, and includes some kind of technology, that is more advanced than everything that we understand. So that is reason, because it's so difficult to understand.
In some cultures, the moon represents kind of a portal. It's like even the sun is supposed to be one portal. So there are many things we can take from the scriptures and try to understand in a scientific and rational way, which can maybe help us to understand a little bit. But it's true, the moon is really mysterious.
Yes, it is, and it's had me scratching my head for the last 4 years. And you know what? I mean, after 4 years of studying the moon, filming the moon, you know what I mean, putting presentations together, I probably know less about the moon now than I thought I did 4 years ago when I first started looking into it. You know what I mean?
Amazing. Yeah, understand, totally understand that. I do studies about everything. Okay, about everything. I have very good videos about several different explanation about the universe, but I don't dare get in the moon, because I think it's the more complicated stuff that we have in our universe. I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, we know that the sun gives life, yeah, and I'm sure that the moon plays a part in that as well. You know what I mean?
Oof,
We know
amazing.
that certain animals, sea animals, and that they mate during only during certain full moons and things like that.
Even our personality change with the moon. It's
Exactly.
amazing. It's amazing.
That's
What does the moon in our atmosphere, in our reality?
Yeah, that's where the word lunar comes. That's where the word lunatic comes from.
Right.
It
Right.
comes from the word lunar.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we know it can affect how personalities, and you know what I mean, and
Affect the growth, create some instability. Because, by example, the thunderstorm project, I don't know if you know that, guys. That guy said that and I understand very well about that. In some part of the history, before the moon was in the sky, there are big uh, plasma storm in our planet, and that is the reason, because we have these craters in our earth. The
yeah.
craters about in our earth is because in the past there was these plasma storms, and these plasma storms disappear when some guys put the moon in there, and this create the stability of the atmosphere that we are living right now. The moon was that. The moon creates a new balance between the sun and the moon, because before the moon was there, the world was not balanced. So that's the reason, because growth so big animals and giants and humans beings and big trees and a lot of stuff that we are trying to understand right now.
Yeah.
So I think include some kind of shadow technology or disappear the vanish technology.
Or maybe just creation.
Okay, I had a question about, okay, the blueness of the sky, and do you think that the gases are playing a role of seeing this blue, and the moon kind of drowning and playing
Xenon.
a part, xenon, and playing a part for maybe the eclipse or maybe even the phases?
Possible, yeah. I mean, is it a coincidence that it's definitely got to be a reaction with the sun? Yeah, because you know, I mean, when the sun and the moon are 180 degrees opposite, yeah, we get a full moon. when they're 90 degrees apart, we get a quarter moon. You know what I mean? So there is a reaction with the sun. So it's got to be something. You know what I mean? One has to rely on the other.
Well,
And
in our study, sorry, Dave, in our study, we try to explain that the sun and the plasma that create the daylight is one thing altogether. This is an atmosphere that comes with the sun. It's a very big atmosphere, and you can see that. You know that, right?
yeah.
And that also that it's the atmosphere is getting hot is because of the particles in the atmosphere. It's not because of the sun is having a fusion or something. Yes, Salino, something like that. Remember?
Right. That is about our study, about this plasma that we see that creates the daylight, because all the light come from these two sources, the sun and the plasma that create the daylight. That is a very big area, and this plasma interact with the moon. That is a reason because we see the moon like getting some water, it's like we think that we see, or no. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, well, like I say, I don't know if you've seen my presentation. Well, if you have, you'll see my thoughts is that the moon is the object we see in the sky is not the moon, it's the apparent moon. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, for me, it's more of a projection, like a focal point projection. Yeah, and I see the same thing with the sun, because like we said before, when you see the sun from when you're on Earth, you see a nice, perfectly round circle object. Then when you rise up above the atmosphere and you go up to, like, say 120,000 feet, where amateur balloons go up to, what you'll see is the sun's set in a dark sky. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
clearly we are seeing a reaction with the atmosphere, and what I think we're only seeing like a focal point projection. So that image we see of the sun and the moon is actually a focal point projection from our perspective.
Right, because the atmosphere change our point of view. Right, because the sun creates this daylight, that is the atmosphere is not so high, it's low, and when you launch these balloons, we see all black. Right.
Exactly.
Right. Very interesting.
Okay, so what we are seeing here is somebody sharing.
Yeah, a guy called Mike has shared this video the night after the lunar occultation of Mars, and what he claimed he claimed this point of light you can see here was actually Mars being seen through a transparent moon. Now, if you look at the image, it's not in focus. So what you will do, you will get that sparkly effect like you'd get with a star. You know what I mean? You'll get that twinkle effect. Yeah, because look at the camera; it's moving around constantly. Not if that camera was fixed on a tripod and you let it settle down, you would clearly see that it's actually a crater being lit up on the moon's edge. And if you look carefully, you can actually see the whole disk of the moon in the image if you look carefully.
Yeah.
See it. So now we move on to this an observation made on the same night, and what you'll see immediately is Mars. Yeah, it was just at the top of your screen there. Now, when the camera is settled, it readjusts the camera so you'll be able to see Mars again. What you'll notice is now, if you look on where I put the arrow now, you'll see the same crater being lit. Yeah, this is the one he's claiming is Mars. Yeah, being seen through a transparent moon. I even zoom in on it to show you that all it is a crater being lit up on the terminator edge, or what you call the limb of the moon. And there you can see.
It's not a star. Yeah, it's not a star. No, it's Mars or nothing.
No, because Mars is there. You can see it. Look, I'll point the arrow to it. Yeah, you can still see that point of light there, which proves beyond a doubt, a shadow of doubt, that it wasn't Mars being seen through a transparent moon.
Wow, awesome, Dave. Yeah, you have got a 4K quality image trying to explain you exactly what that it's not transparent. We have to be open. We have to be open to receive different opinion and evidence like this, which and don't get stuck on dogmatic views, and dogmatic ideas, because that's what is not progressing our flat earth community. So
So
Exactly.
this is a creator.
Yeah, what it is, because it's just on the inside of the Terminator edge. Yeah, it's being lit up. You can see the light shine off it. Yeah,
a
Right.
reflection. Yeah, it's a reflection.
yeah. So all you're seeing is you're seeing the edge of the crater, yeah, being lit up. If you look just below it, below the arrow, you'll see there's another one lit up a little bit. It's a bit of a bit of a crater there. And if you look at the bit at the top where it's got the little bit of a hook, you can see that bit lights up as well. You know what I mean? It's just where you see the light, where the actual light meets the Terminator edge, the dark limb, and it's just inside that limb, so it looks like it's being lit up. But clearly,
So yeah,
it's not.
so this could be happening through eclipses, also Selinos. So you remember with the ones we saw the eclipse. So it's possible that it's also a reflection of some of the craters. It's totally possible.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am thinking about that. It's very interesting. I think that is right, probably.
Yeah, and as you can see, where I point the arrow, that is actually Mars, and it didn't appear until it cleared the whole disk of the moon, the whole unlit limb, what they call the limb of the moon. So for me, it proves beyond a shadow of doubt, because all I'm trying to do is trying to save a little bit of integrity, because things like this, when you make these outrageous claims, yeah, it makes the truth community look stupid. Yeah, we've got the Flat
Yeah.
Earth Society to do that. You know what I mean?
Right,
They've been
right.
doing that since the
We have
70s.
that. We all have that problem, especially the ones that were trying provide some logic to all our understanding and our studies.
Exactly. I mean, like I say, it's yeah. If there was a possibility that I'd seen a star through the moon, I'd document it. But believe me, I've shot 2 occultations personally, and on both occasions, the star didn't appear until it cleared the whole disk of the moon. And like I've put there, all I'm after is the truth. Yeah, I just wanna go with the observations and build my opinion or on the back of my observations. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm right all the time. You know what I mean? I've been wrong on many things in the past. When I did my very first video on the moon rotation, I got it completely wrong, and I'll be the first to put my hands up and say, you know what, I got it completely wrong. But what I did, I went back and rectified that, and I came up with a better explanation. And if you've seen my presentation, you've probably seen my moon rotation. In fact, I've still got the 4 moons on my ceiling in my living room here. So
Yeah, Dave. That's the idea, no? To bring everybody bring something to the table, even if we are not really agree on the same opinions. But that's our job, to get the different kind and to do constructive criticizing, but constructive, so we all can grow in a way. The community can grow, and we can bring new ideas to the table.
yeah, and
the
that's
idea.
all. That's all I wanted to do. But what I did, I've basically been attacked for bringing this video out. You know what I mean? I've been called names. I've been called a shill. Yeah, I've been told I've edited the other footage to make it look like it's a crater and all sorts. You know what I mean? It's just silly. And like I say, all I'm trying to do is save a bit of integrity and try and move forward with the research instead of taking 10 steps backwards.
We have to have the ability to separate the info from the disinfo, because there's everything pro and con against of every subject you're going to look for. So it's yours to to separate the things and clear it out, what's really is working and making sense in reality and what you're perceiving. So thanks for being here, Dave. It was really a pleasure to have you here, brother.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
I will think about it and I will share my comments with you. I am trying to analyze all this information. Looks very interesting, your point of view.
Yeah,
And
it might be worth you watching the actual video with the proper sound. You know what I mean? So you can hear the proper sound.
right,
I don't know if you're playing the sound on this video, because I didn't hear it though.
right. Let's do
Yeah.
it. Thank you so much, my friend.
Okay, so people, before we sign out, please do check out for our next week. We're going to be releasing our FERN map 2 2.0 in few days, and with lots of new details. And we also be having some great interesting guests like Dave in the next weeks. So please do stay tuned, and also do subscribe and like, follow to Dave's channel, Lunar Conspiracy, right?
Yes, so
Right, Dave?
you can find me on YouTube. Just look for Dave Marsh. You can find me on Facebook, Dave Marsh, or you can find my Facebook page, which is called Lunar Cosmology.
Awesome, awesome. And please do follow our group also, Fern, and our join our group, Fern. There's a lot of interesting evidence coming soon. And Celino, brother, thank you for being here too.
Thank you so much, my friend. Has been very interesting. I think the community must consider this point of view from Dave, because I think adds some truth to our knowledge.
Yes,
Exactly,
and
exactly.
it's been a pleasure, guys. Anyway,
Yes, yes, it's a pleasure ours, Dave. And we'll be looking forward for your new material too. Okay, so thanks for being
yes,
here, bro.
and if you ever want me on in the future, just give us a shout. I'm usually available.
Definitely, definitely. We're gonna have some updates from you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so this is Vika signing off from Truth Fern Flat Earth Research Network, and see you soon next time. Bye.
Bye
Bye
bye,
bye.
my friend. Thank you.